want to talk a little bit about AI generated artwork. So there's a YouTube channel I watch. It's a guy, he puts together clip videos of old TV shows and the bloopers and funny things that he finds in them. He has different kinds of content that's enjoyable, and he collects comic books and stuff like that. Well, he has a second channel where he shows his own animation and his own animated characters. I clicked over and checked it out, and it was very crude, and I didn't find it appealing. It's okay. I can like you, and I can like some of the stuff you put out. I don't have to like everything you do, so no big deal, right? Recently, YouTube suggested I watch one of his animated videos. I didn't even realize it was his second channel that I had already checked out before. But it looked good to me, and I watched it, and I was like, man, this is awesome. The same guy, he made this? Is this what I've been missing out on? No. So the last few videos, he switched over to using AI software to generate his animation, as opposed to whatever he was using before, Toon Boom or something like that. Which is fine. It's just another tool. Instead of drawing and animating frame by frame, what have you, he is using a different piece of software. He has to put in the work and everything and use the AI, and it came out a lot better. A lot better. So, how do I feel about that? I don't know. I clicked to subscribe to see where it goes from here. Now, we go over to like comic books, Marvel and DC. Jim Lee, president of DC Comics, made a big statement at New York Comic Con that DC Comics will have nothing to do with AI artwork. Well, simultaneously, Marvel put out a trailer, promotion material for their new upcoming TV show, Wonder Man. Now, let's talk about the MCU. Let's talk about Marvel versus DC, okay? From the end of the 70s to the beginning of the 90s, Marvel was where it was at. You know what? Now DC is where it's at. As far as comic books, Marvel is just not good anymore, and they're not going in a good direction. They've put all their resources into the film and television side to great success, whereas DC, the comics, have been fantastic and constantly getting better. Same with some independent companies, you know. But now we go to the films. Now, if I want to gauge, how does the general public feel about a given genre? I think of my brother. So you got the MCU. When it kind of kicks off with Iron Man in 2008, my brother, like everybody else in the world, jumps on board. And they stick with it all the way through Avengers Endgame, loving every bit of it. They want to see all of it. They're enjoying it. Even the ones that are considered duds, like Thor 2 or Iron Man 2, they just kind of wave it off. And they just look forward to the next one and the next one. But then you have a show like WandaVision, and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that's when the general public just kind of goes away. And that's when my brother, bowed out. You have, it's not even one or two duds in a row. I like those shows. It's when the public feels it's time to move on, then they just do, and they're not coming back. They're not looking for diamonds in the rough. That's the windshield wipers. They're not willing to overlook maybe something that's not quite to their liking, like they did before with a Thor 2 or an Iron Man 2. They're just done, and they've moved on. I hang in there for a while more if it's in a genre I like. I'm not ready to just move on to what the public tells me I'm supposed to now watch, Walking Dead or The Witcher, whatever it is, Stranger Things, that I'm supposed to jump on board with. I stick to whatever it is and try and get some enjoyment out of it. But then eventually it loses its luster, as Marvel has. It doesn't even have a diamond in the rough here and there anymore. It just kind of all became bad, and I stopped watching. Same with Star Wars. But then Fantastic Four came out, and I really liked it, but the public isn't there anymore. Same with the DC movies. You know, they come out with the new Superman movie, and I was there loving it, but the public isn't there anymore. You get a couple people trickling back in, but they're going to go away, especially with what we've got coming out next. Okay, let's go with DC. The follow-up stuff we've got is Supergirl and whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's not exciting. Marvel, you've got things like Wonder Man. It looked like garbage. It looked like garbage. Now we get back to the AI artwork discussion I wanted to have. In the Wonder Man show, they're showing clips of a supposed old Wonder Man movie series, TV show. I don't know what it is. Some type of old thing that the young boy is watching in the theater with his dad and grows up to become an actor who then auditions for the role of Wonder Man in a TV show. Okay, so where am I going with this? Well, last year, I think, is when it started. You started to see these shorts on YouTube of what would the Avengers look like if it was made in the 50s? What would this look like if it was what would the Herculoids look like if it was live action? And it has this look to it. Now it's all AI generated. And it was very intriguing at first. After a while it becomes monotonous because it's all kind of the same thing. Sure, we're at the beginning of the software and we're getting a deluge of it. There's only so much you can take, like only so much you can drink in from a fire hose at your face. It will continue to get better and more interesting. And I mean, this is just the beginning, right? Well, this Wonder Man stuff, it looked like one of those. It didn't look like a film from the 50s. It looked like an AI-generated short on YouTube simulating what something would have looked like if it was made in the 50s. You can tell the difference. You can tell. Well, so no one really talked about that. What they talked about was, what about the promotional material for that bit of stuff? Was Marvel, was that AI generated? And they said, yeah, we did use AI tools for that. They're just talking about like fake movie posters and things like that. But I'm telling you, the whole thing itself looked AI generated. But Marvel is taking a stance basically of, yeah, we have no problem with using AI. Now, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? If the public wants it and the companies can make money from it, it doesn't matter good or bad. It's coming. Doesn't matter what Jim Lee says. It's coming. So, what is the gauge of the general public of what it wants? Do I go back to my brother? No. My brother is following whatever the public says that he needs to follow. That's the common man. You have to go to somebody who is interested in genre stuff, artwork, things like that. So I take my buddy Sean. Now, I have made a video or two or a million about my Super Mashed Potato Men comic, webcomic, project, characters, things like that. And I explained, and I have a book out about it and everything, I explained the genesis of it. It was that secret, long lost, never known about, uncovered stash of original characters created by Sean in 1991 that our friend Tanya brought to light decades later when she uncovered this pile of artwork for me, to which Sean didn't even remember anything about. And I became so obsessed with these characters that it created this whole project, and I threw in all my ancient characters and made the storylines and the comics and stuff, and it's just so much creative fun stemmed from that. But the actual originator of these characters, Sean, and this original artwork, Sean, just didn't understand what I was doing. He said, why would you bother with this garbage when you can just go on the internet and find so many better characters, better drawn stuff? If you're going to be inspired by something, why don't you be inspired by something good? You can just go out there and find anything better. And that right there shows you the thought process of how someone other than me, probably the general public, is going to look at this. They're not going to even understand where you're coming from when you say, no, this stuff is important and exciting because the personal connection to you, because it is the uncovered creativity of a specific individual that holds importance. It's not the artwork itself. I mean, there's nothing all that original about anything. It's just the people that are important behind it. And that is where but that's just my way of thinking of it. His is like, well, just look for something drawn better. Look for a more creatively designed character. So, he, to me, symbolizes what the general public that is kind of into genre stuff or into artwork and things would look for. They would say, well, I don't care if this is AI generated or not, if they use Photoshop or if they're using reference models, or if it's coming off the top of their head, or if they're copying and pasting, or if they're making music, or if they're sampling someone else's music. And none of it matters. All that matters is if I find what I consider to be the best. The actual originator of it has no meaning. Meaning it doesn't even matter if it's a human. It could just be software or anybody behind the software. This is the same type of thinking, and he was at the forefront of this 30 years ago when everyone just started downloading music. And their excuse was, hey, people are going to do it anyways. Why fight against it? And I kept thinking, this is not going to go well. It's not going to go well. And in my opinion, it didn't. Once you remove the monetary incentive for getting into music, the industry goes away. When the industry goes away, the thoughts of young kids going into things goes away. Yes, people like to create music, but when there is the idea that you could become a rock star, there's more of an incentive to sit there all night, every night, practicing, writing your songs, practicing the guitar, creating a garage band, this and that. It doesn't matter, you're not going to be successful. Most people aren't. That's not the point. It's just the idea that it's a possibility. That's all you need. An idea, a hope, a dream that it's possible. But when you remove all that, well, so does the hope, the dream, the possibility, the ambition, the drive, the creativity. And now you have what we have now. People just don't do things. Well, with the artwork, it's the same thing. We're at the dawn of the AI stuff, and if the general public is just gonna say, hey, whatever, I just want what's good, and I don't want to have to pay for it, and just give it to me, then that's the way things are gonna go. Period. And it doesn't matter if you like it or you don't, or you feel, well, I'm the unique original, I'm old school, I still want to this, I want to do that, I'm going to rebel. It doesn't matter. If it's not available to you anymore, it's not available. If all that's available to you is what there is, if it's AI, if it's sampled music, if it's then that's all you got. Then you become someone like me, a fossil, stuck in the past, where you just kind of enjoy the things you've always enjoyed. Try and dig a little deeper into the past stuff to find what you maybe didn't uncover yet, haven't come across, haven't collected, but you don't stay up with the times. You're not on the cutting edge. You're not part of the common modern story. You're out of step with everyone else and everything else. You're not going to have an audience for your own stuff. No one's on the same page as you, and you're on an island all by yourself. Lonely and meaningless. And that's me.